I will always introduce this man the same way. You might know him 15 NBA seasons. You might know him three-time NBA champion, Spurs, Raptors, Lakers. You may think three-pointers. Nope. Best defender in the open floor of LeBron James and Dwayne Wade that there has ever been. Wow. No one has ever been better at stopping the Dwayne Wade, LeBron James 2-on-1 fast break than a very confusing Danny Green. He has no accomplishment in his career better than that. Danny, good to see you. He's also the host of Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. But thank you for joining us, and forgive me for always doing that to you. But it's the best thing that you did. You did nothing better than that. You were less good at 3-pointers than you were at that.
I 100% agree, man. I appreciate you always having me on the show. It's a true honor. But yes, that's a hell of an introduction, and the one that I take the most pride in. So I'm glad that I'm known for my defense, and it's specifically that. I was a pretty decent shot blocker, but I was good at guessing. Making the guessing game, I guess, on the 2-on-1 and fast break. So thank you for reminding people that.
Yes. Were you offended last night watching Lakers and Timberwolves and seeing two teams shoot 20% from three?
I was not. I mean, it was an ugly game. I mean, Lakers came out hot, and I think their numbers ended up dropping toward the end of the game. But, it's weird. I'm going to say today's NBA. But this year's playoffs has been kind of ugly with low scoring, right? Even Golden State, Houston series was low scoring. Even the Knicks-Detroit series has, except for the game one. Who else the other day was not high? Clippers-Denver, 105-102. So we haven't seen an abundance of scoring, but 95-84, that's pretty ugly for the playoffs. So, I mean, I said I don't mind the not shooting great from three, but we still want to see some good action, some good basketball, some scoring from the mid-range. And we've seen that from Kawhi. We see that from, KD and other guys that do mid-range. But yes, definitely want to see some more scoring in these games.
If you had to bet and be right, Kawhi will be standing at the end of these playoffs healthy.
If I had to bet?
And be right.
Yes, that's something that I definitely hope for him, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see that he's playing and he's good. It's been a while since we've seen him healthy in the postseason. We're trying to remember the last time that we've seen it. I remember the bubble, and then after that, I'm trying to remember if he got through the postseason healthy. So that was 5 years ago.
If it's your money, it's hard to make that a probability. It's hard to bet on that, is it not? Because I'd like to.
It is, but I'd put my money on it. He looks good right now. In the past, I would be like, because he also took some games off this season. Like his body, I think, has gotten the proper rest where they monitored. Because the other times that he gets hurt in the postseason, he played the full season, or he played a good amount of the season. I think he took a right amount of games off this season to be able to be fresh enough for the postseason. So I would put my money on it.
Danny, I've been trying to get this take off the ground, and I cannot do it. Nobody will co-sign it with me. Nobody will allow it. I want to argue that Jokic is the best offensive player in the history of basketball.
Ooh, I could put him in the top five, maybe.
No cosign on that. No cosign.
I don't think I can cosign fully. I can put him in the top five because to me, and I'm biased because I have to guard the big men, right? And I mean, we've seen Russ do triple-double thing, but scoring alone, like in my time, obviously I never chance to play Michael Jordan, but he's number one at scoring. And then for me, behind him was Kevin Durant and James Harden. Just that scoring, because those guys could unbelievably score, and he can too, but he does more than just score.
Hence the best offensive player. I'm doing all of it. Efficiencies. I'm doing all of it. It's not just scorer. The best. I mean, Shaquille O'Neal.
I'll put him at the best big.
Well, but that's not what I want.
That's your lane. No traffic in that lane.
I don't want him as the best big. And when you're talking about guarding him, you might be able to stop whatever it is Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade are doing in the open court on a 2 and 3-on-1. Jokic, you're getting stuck in his belly button.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm stopping Michael Jordan though. That's a tough one. Even Kevin Durant, but yes, he probably is the top best offensive skilled or scoring or offensive player big wise center's position.
Too many words. It's too many
Yes.
words. You're not co-signing
Sorry.
what I'm asking you to co-sign. So we'll just go back
I
to
don't. I
talking
can't.
about whether
It's just too tough. There's too many skilled offensive players that have come through our league, and it said to me to put somebody
none
above
like this one,
Michael,
Danny. None like this
Michael
one.
Jeffrey Jordan.
None like this one. There have been exactly 0 who look like this one. And as an added bonus, oh yeah, everyone passed on him. He didn't go in the first round.
I would agree and attest to that. That's a good. I mean, but it's a Michael Jordan, man. There's a reason why, and some of these guys, I said he's got 1 ring. So some of these guys that you're talking about, he's passing up, have like 5, 6 rings, and they might have had better teams.
Just talking about the offensive skills. I'm not talking about the championships.
Danny's trying to find a polite way to say
No,
you're wrong.
I know.
Don't you get that?
Steph Curry is very skill set too. Like he does a lot of things. Like there's guys
Now
that
imagine
impact the
he's 7
game.
feet. Just
Yeah,
imagine he
But,
from like his
yeah,
toes
'cause,
to
you
the
know,
top
this
of his
year-
head. There is 7
yes.
feet occupied.
So this year, Jokic has shot 40 plus from 3, but I don't know if he'll consistently do that. You know, so
Could Jordan?
no, Jordan couldn't. But Steph is in that. So there's so many talented players that have come through our lane
7-footer.
offensively.
Okay.
But yeah, 7-footer. You know that's not a bad take. It's a strong one. I'm more in agreement than I am disagreement, but it's hard for me to fully commit to that until I do some more research.
He's second in the NBA in assists.
He
Danny, I
distributes
need
like
to
Chris
change
Paul.
your mind. I need
Yeah.
to,
Can we
I
change
need-
your mind?
I need to badger you until you change your
You
mind.
guys are pushing me. You guys are pushing me there.
Yes.
Yeah, too
you
too
are
often in
pushing me.
sports debate, people just stick to their take and don't say, you know what, you've convinced me.
I just
I
can't-
agree. I may venture to say this is that time.
As-
Let's just show
As
the
this
world.
time goes on, I'm getting more and more convinced because, yeah, we haven't seen anything like it. We haven't seen anything like it.
Danny, shot for your life, Jokic or Jordan?
I'm going Mike.
Yeah, on progress. It's just been
I'm
undone.
going Mike.
End of
No
argument.
disrespect to Jokic. So they're both very good players, but I'm going with Mike, and even Luka is a guy that we might be able to put in that conversation.
I want to talk
as one
about
of the
Luka.
best.
I want to talk about Luka. Stan says he's the best offensive player ever. Stan Van Gundy says that Luka is the best offensive player ever. But I want to get your take on Missoula the other day. Tatum's doubtful, and Missoula the other day just said, "Get up," because he was writhing around on the floor. But he's actually doubtful, so he was hurt. How's that one going over with your star player? That Missoula's a little bit of a crazy person.
I mean, it depends on how Jason. I feel like he's a kid that can receive constructive criticism well, and was his pops or his parents from the old school times. That's just how it was. You know what I'm saying? You break a finger, you got 9 others. Get your ass up, get back in the game and play. So I mean, I loved it. I and to me, I don't know exactly what he's hurt. It was a wrist, right, or something like that. Or
I don't think get up is constructive criticism. Tony's back there saying
get up, get up. Dan.
Tony played through a rec
sprained
league
thumb
game.
last
He
night.
got a sprained thumb and he kept playing through it. 15 points in the second half.
Let me explain it to Danny. So Danny, I was on the block and I was waiting for a pick and pop. Guy goes to pick. My thumb gets caught in his shirt, yanks it back. Right, I had already had 20 at that point. Had to come out.
He was hot.
Come on, I was hot. I had already hit like 4 or 5 threes. I came out of the game, had to tape myself up real quick. But guess what? Second half started. I came back in, had another.
You're a
10,
warrior.
15.
Yeah.
Like,
He's a
that's- get up.
I'm
get
with
back
you on
up.
that. Listen,
He's got that dog inside him.
There's not many injuries that should keep you on the floor for that. Like unless you tore an ankle, a knee, said I don't know what I didn't see with the injury, but I thought it was his wrist, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Landed on
Was it
his wrist
something-
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so his legs are fine. Like your legs are fine. And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to like downplay his injury, but Joe was like, "Look, man, you're not shot. You're not dead. Get up. We can look at this wrist on the sideline. We can look at it over here." Yeah, and I think that's just part of him being raised from the old school and trying to let the new school generation, like you guys are soft as hell. Get the hell up. Like you don't need to be laying on the floor that late. And I get some guys like to sell the call, like to sell this, make them look at it, make them see, because sometimes you won't get them to review a call unless you sell it. But I mean, if I'm coaching any of my kids, I'm telling them get the hell up. But that might not go over well with superstars in NBA.
Well, it's not constructive.
40, $50
Get up
million
is not
a year.
constructive criticism under any
I
circumstances.
won't put it in that. I won't
Well,
put
you
it in that
did.
category. I would say that he's a kid that can take criticism, and he can take. I'm not saying this is constructive criticism, but I think he can take that type of tough love and treatment, and is okay with it.
I want you
Maybe
to,
I'm wrong.
No,
I could be wrong.
I think that you have some expertise here that you can help us understand Kawhi Leonard a little bit better than most, having been a champion with him. By the time he gets to you in Toronto, after whatever the betrayals were of the Spurs medical staff, that Kawhi Leonard, when you talk about playing through injuries, we were marveling at this yesterday, was incapable of jumping. He won a championship playing only old man game. Could you notice, what story can you tell us from that that would give us the insides of, you have no earthly idea how hard it was for him to win the championship when he couldn't jump in an NBA Finals game?
That's interesting. It is tough. I said I've seen Timmy play on one leg, and to go back to Joe Mazzulla, Pop has said way worse things to me in the past. Besides, get up is not that bad or that harsh. But Kawhi, to me, I said he was unbelievable during that run, and I know he was limping. I know he had one leg, but to say he couldn't jump, I think is a stretch, because he definitely did dunk the ball. He dunked the shit out of Giannis one time. Like, there was series where he was limping, but he still was getting to the rim, still dunked the ball. But yes, I know he was hurt. He was on one leg, and to do that with that type of injury just showed how tough of a kid he is. And people will give him a lot of slack because of his injuries in the past, and it's a lot of negativity. But he's fought through some injuries in the past, and I think it makes him look bad because they don't release the injury or the severity of the injury till after these series are over. Like the past couple of playoffs we've seen, he's like, oh, he's injured, he might come back, and then after the series is over, it's like, oh, he tore his ACL. So like, you guys should announce that. Obviously, they want the other team to know because they want them to fear them. But you're making the player look bad by not announcing that when it happens. But he's a kid that can fight through, injuries. He can fight through, pain, and he's shown it and proven it before. So I never doubt him.
Two-part question on Pacers and Bucks. Why do the NBA peers think that Tyrese Halliburton is overrated, and is Giannis out of there if Milwaukee loses in the first round?
I don't think he's overrated. I just think that, I guess if you look at the totality of it, they put him in a category because he had an unbelievable stretch last season, the first third of the season, where I wouldn't say his outer body experience or above himself, but he played at an unbelievable efficient rate, and he was getting 20 assists game, getting 30 balls, shooting 40 plus from three, and as we've seen, that's not his norm, or 40 plus from three. Like he can score.
He became an all-star the first half of last season because he was making three-pointers from the half-court line because he went through he introduced himself to America.
And the Olympic team. Like some people, he should, because you got guys like, and I was doing TV with John Wall the other day, and some of these things he's never gotten invited to, and John was an unbelievable point guard, and if he matched up with him in his prime, I know it would be a great hell of a matchup, and he'd probably give him some fits. But I think Tyrese is a very good player. I just think the standard that they're holding him to and the expectation, or what they believe he is a lot higher than what he's consistently shown and what he really is. So I don't think he's overrated. I think he's very good. But some other point guards, some other people don't think he deserved to be Olympic team over like Kyrie and certain people. So I get that. But is Giannis out of there? I think there's some consideration. If they lose in the first round, they're down 0-2 right now to Indiana. And if they lose probably 4-1, which looks like it's going to be going in my mind, I think there's going to be, him considering going other places and the organization having to sit down, talk with him and seeing where his mindset is. But I can see Giannis also being a guy like being loyal and saying, I started my career here. I want to finish here.
Nah, loyal's
and
done. I think
I got my
done.
ring. Maybe. So we don't know. We'll see what his brother said. A lot has to do with his brother. If they bring his brother back, but yeah, I think there's going to be some consideration of him and the organization of trading him this offseason if they lose 4-1 in this series.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Danny, I got 3 questions for you, rapid fire. If you listen to an audio book to completion,
yes,
can you then claim I read that book?
No.
Yeah.
Stan Van Gundy disagrees, but we
Thank
move
you,
on.
Danny.
Who's more handsome, Andrew Hawkins?
I think you have to read the shit. You have to read it.
Damn
Go ahead.
Read the shit. Okay. Well, I heard And I got the same amount of information.
It's
Well, I'm not
gotta
going
be
to
For sure.
Listen,
Listen, I wouldn't say you didn't read it, but I say you
All
listened.
right,
I
look at
listened
that.
to that book.
Look,
The correct
this
terms.
been
I
a-
listened to that book.
This has been a great segment for changing people's minds.
Danny gets it.
Who's more handsome, Andrew Hawkins or Method Man? We're taking an internal tally here.
Is Andrew Hawkins the?
Receiver.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as Walter.
Well, see, like, you know Andrew Hawkins, and you don't do a show with him like Greg Cody. Like, Greg Cody's a part of our ensemble cast. Had no idea who Andrew Hawkins.
Never
even
been to
was.
the same studio with him.
Say,
I'm gonna go with Method Man just because I mean, for what I've seen, as an older guy, he's kind of taking care of himself.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
no,
he's been in a
100%.
Yeah.
And last question. Mark Jackson once famously said, "The great ones tell their body not today." Was there ever a time where Danny Green had to tell his body not today to overcome with a great performance on the court?
No, my younger days, I wasn't that smart. I had to have, and I think most athletes had to have coaches tell you not today. It's just that I grew up, the coachings, the parenting was very different. I played football, so it was like if I'm sick, I'm gonna try to go. It doesn't matter if I'm hurt, whatever it is. If it's not stop me from running, I'm gonna try to go.
Well, so you are saying not today.
so
you
you
were
did say
always,
not today.
you were
Jackson
always
thing,
saying
Yeah, so
not
what's
today.
the greatest single
hey,
example
my
of you telling your body not
your
today?
your body's screaming. It's telling you you're not playing
That's what
today,
you're saying.
and
Yeah.
you're telling your body not today, body.
Okay.
because you're one of the great
So then,
ones.
yes, that was every day. That was yeah. I was
Every
always
day.
talking
Every
about
day
it.
you were telling your
Every
body
day.
not today?
Every day.
No, not every day. I'm being, but there was a lot of moments. Yes, there's a lot of moments where it was not today. I was sick. I was hurt, and I don't think it was any in the finals. There was none in the play, like not many in the playoffs, but there was some times where I was sick. But said the coaching staff would have me sit down, or if I was really sick. But I can't remember there was one in particular moment where I had like a flu game or anything like
How
that.
about this? How
But there
about
was-
did you ever come out one day and say to yourself this because you were trying to summon the greatest of strengths within you?
I got a dog in me.
Yeah, I mean, so there was some moments where I didn't feel. I'm trying to remember if there was any playoff games where I didn't feel great.
But it didn't have to be what it felt. It actually would be you felt too great, right? Like it's not just your body, but you feel.
Yeah, I was assuming turned ankle. It seems as though you got a bad immune system.
No, I wasn't
stomach
always
issues.
sick. I wasn't always sick. There was definitely times where I had a groin injury or I had a ascites pubis, and I kind of played through it most of that.
That sounds
I didn't
terrible.
know until the end of the season.
No, what is that? That sounds terrible.
believe
What
it's
is
Latin.
that? Pubis.
It's
what?
like a groin injury.
Pubis?
Ascites pubis. Ascites pubis. I think that's the correct term.
E pluribus.
It's a groin injury.
Sounds.
And,
Thank you, Greg. That
Definitely.
It sounds painful.
An American
It wasn't.
slogan?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was painful, and I
Greg
said I
hasn't
didn't
gone
know how
to
bad it
Bears.
was till the end of the season. But I had ascites pubis most of that toward the end of that year, and I had to play through that. So that was tough. That was definitely tough as well.
Danny, you don't believe in the Rockets, right?
I believe they're good, but I had Golden State in 7 in this series. I just think Golden State. Just because I have Golden State doesn't mean I don't believe in the Rockets. I just think
That's
Golden
actually
State.
exactly what
That's
that
exactly what it means. That's exactly.
No, it means I believe in Golden State a little more because they're more
no, but
experienced.
that's what.
You guys are stirring some stuff
No,
up, man.
Danny, though, this is the thing, right? You either believe the Rockets are going to get out of the first round or they're not. And I don't believe anybody thinks the Rockets are going to get out of the first round.
I believe they're a good team, and I think if they had a different matchup, I would think they would win the series. But this matchup, I believe in Golden State more because they're just more experienced to me. That doesn't take away the fact that Houston is a good enough team that I believe is could, if depend on matchup, could make noise in the playoffs. Like if they played Lakers, if they played Memphis, there are other teams matched up that I think they could beat.
Timberwolves, Lakers, who you got?
I had Lakers in 6.
So game 1 didn't shake you.
Nah, I mean, I usually stick my prediction. I just think Lakers. So they had a really bad night. Timberwolves had a really great night. They shot the hell out of the ball. Jaden McDaniels 25 points on 11 from 13. I don't think that efficient. He may score 20, but not that efficiently. They hit a franchise record of threes. I don't know if they can. They shoot decent. But I don't think they'll do that again. 3 or 4 more times in the playoffs. So I think the Lakers as a safe bet with Luka and Bron.
Danny, I assume you have Cleveland in 4 or 5 games What on earth can the Heat do to make this a long series?
Game
What's
one,
their
incidentally, I saw these stats. Cleveland had its best offensive game of the season, and Miami had its worst defensive game of the season. That's not great.
It's not, but that you got to give credit to the teams making it like that way. You know, they had a worse defensive because Cleveland played really good offense. Ty Jerome played well. I think it'll go 5, maybe 6 at most. But Miami stuck around. They looked like they belonged. It wasn't like one of those lopsided OKC, Memphis. That series looks a little more lopsided. But Miami just plays their game. You know, I think they have a chance. They need more Khalil Ware. They need a little more bench production. They need to probably start Davion Mitchell because he played well.
I like that guy.
Yeah, I think they found some things, just hopefully take away Cleveland's. You got to take away Cleveland's bench a little bit and take away 3-ball from them a little bit, which said they won't shoot it as well.
That's hard to do.
And the rest of the series.
Danny, do you like movies?
Yeah. I love movies. Movies.
So we're 30 days away from the final reckoning. Oh, God. And I think Mission Impossible, for my money, is the greatest action film franchise of all time. It just keeps getting better.
Outside of all the Marvel movies too.
Yeah, the Marvel movies. You can't say that. You can't say that about the Marvel movies, that they keep getting better. You can absolutely say that, at least in terms of like a timeline. Keep in mind, this franchise has been around for like 30 years now.
Yeah, it's like Fast and the Furious at this point.
No,
but I mean,
only better. It's better. But Fast and Furious doesn't have 30 years, and it certainly doesn't have. It doesn't have. They're not. How many times has Tyrese been disavowed by the government? I mean, seriously, come on. So, I guess you know where I stand, but in your opinion, and please let it not be Fast and Furious, what is the greatest action film franchise of all time?
That to me, I would go with the Marvel movie or like the Batman series, like the Dark Knight, the Batman,
or the Nolan trilogy.
Yes, Nolan trilogy, Avengers. The Avengers, unbelievable. Those are like my top two.
Did you like the Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson as Bruce?
It was good. I liked it, but it wasn't as good as the
it's taking too long to get the sequel out there. He's going to be 41 years old.
The Christian Bale series said we have to wait till it finished, but the Christian Bale one is top tier. I will say this: I've seen Sinners, and I haven't felt about a movie like that, like where I thought about a movie after, because it was a lot when I first saw the hype. I'm like, people probably hyping it, and I'm all for, pushing and black, culture and everything like that. That's great. And I was like, I'm going to see the movie, and I'm still going to promote it regardless. But it lived up to the hype, and I'm still watching this and finding out new stuff about the movie. Obviously, we're talking about series, but this was an unbelievable movie.
Danny, I'm excited to see it again. I've been floored by how I didn't think that things could be made that would just get universal applause in 2025, where people are talking about something, they're saying how good it is, and then people go see it and they say it's better than that. Like the last thing that felt like that to me was like Hamilton a million years ago, and then people turned on Hamilton too.
Because people usually ruin it, right? People overhype it, but this lived up to the hype, man. I'm learning still, even after the movie, how much about the cast and crew. Very talented actors, unbelievable. And people say it's really not a horror. It has some jumpy scenes, but it's like a horror mixed with musical. It's like, and I'm not a fan of musicals at all. But the soundtrack, and I think the villains need to get more credit. The villains were unbelievable too. Like, I don't see enough of them on Instagram. Obviously, everybody talks about Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld. They're unbelievable too. But the other actors, the old school actors, like they came full circle. It's a movie that I really am interested in seeing again and seeing what I could pick up the second time around. But to me, it was Michael B. Jordan's one of his best acting movies I've seen. But it was unreal, man. It had a great feeling, great experience in the theater. And I didn't even see it in IMAX. I want to see it in IMAX to see how different it'll be.
Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. And we have a victory here on behalf of America. You guys all heard it here. Danny Green has conceded that he was wrong. He's had his mind changed. He can be open-minded. Jokic is better than Michael Jordan.
Yes, I was actually going to come back to that.
Yes,
I was going to come back to that. I think you guys convinced me. Jokic is probably the best offensive player in the history of the game.
Thank you.
Until Luka surpasses him.
That's right.
Luka has to get an MVP.
That's right. All of that. Yes.
Luka has to get an MVP and a championship. Luka's MVP and a championship, then we'll have this discussion again.
A victory.
But yes.
A victory. Thank you, Danny. Good seeing you.
You got to win. Same. Appreciate you guys, man. This is always fun. We got to do it again soon.
See ya.
I got a dog in me. From game night
to parties with friends or special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. When I think of Miller Lite, I think of me and my dad cheersing, watching a Marlins game on a cruise together. We get the and the cheers. It's just, when I think of Miller Lite, I think of times with my dad, times with family and friends. It's the original light beer since 1975, still iconic 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Spliff Notes is sponsored by Jimmy John's. They're finally here, and they're hot. Try the new toasted sandwiches at Jimmy John's. Order one today.
Those sandwiches are delicious. I don't know if any were left. I saw people putting them in their pockets. It was some. Tony, did you miss out on the
I had
sandwiches?
3 of them, Dan.
Okay, you had 3 of them. I saw
Got the
people,
chicken bacon ranch. I had the Italian.
Roy, did you
the Italian.
Did you see anybody smuggling sandwiches? I felt like there was some sandwich smuggling going on.
They're all gone.
Okay.
So I didn't see any sandwiches.
So
There are chips, though, in the kitchen, though.
Okay.
Those are hidden.
Those Juju, I imagine that the Stan Van Gundy, David Sampson segment was panned throughout the internet, that David Sampson loves to fire people, and Stan Van Gundy being hopelessly out of touch with the fired man. I would imagine our audience didn't react very well to any of that.
Yes. At first, when it first started, you edged people a little bit, like, give it up for Stan Van Gundy. And then it was David Sampson, and the whole chat just turned against the whole show. Like, wait, I thought he was gone. But then, like you said, once it got into the hiring and firings and how NBA coaches experience it versus the chat experienced it, yeah, it was pretty rough for my brother Stan, bro. Give my boy Stan some grace, audience.
No, there's no grace for Stan. Did we have a less popular moment than that today? Did anybody, were there any other criticisms levied against the show worth revisiting?
Nah, that was pretty popular. Outside of this right here, like, I want you to think about this. The Billy Gill segment yesterday, and you put Mike's father up yesterday next to George Clooney, Andrew Hawkins next to Method Man. Now close your eyes and imagine if we were doing that to women. I think we should not do that. You feel me? Objectifying men sometimes is just as critical in the Me Too era as the men. But hey, the women, excuse me. But hey, keep on doing your thing.
I don't think it's just as.
But it's been done to women so long, we're evening it out, is what we're doing. We're balancing it.
Equality.
Let's give them a little taste of their own medicine.
By pining lecherously about Method Man. I just don't know. I don't know a lot of 50-year-old plus people who appear in front of the internet's judgment and get swooning. There aren't many of them, I don't think, male or female. What do you got?
But like you said, like Danny Green said, though, Method Man has been revered in the black community as one of the most handsome men in the entire world for as long as he's been doing it. So I think my brother Billy yesterday was a little, it's not that he didn't know too much. It's a two America situation.
But what about Greg Cody thinking that Andrew Hawkins' name was Walter and having no idea who his colleague of many years is?
Okay, he's not my colleague. He's not my colleague of many years. I've never met him. I've never been in the same room with him. I apologize. I didn't know him by name.
Greg, I am guessing that there is no one here that you have worked with over the last couple of years who works at Meadowlark whose name that you don't really know. Like among people who have spoken at microphones. If I keep putting them in front of you, my guess is that you can name all of them except Walter Hawkins.
Okay, can you say that someone I have worked with if I literally haven't worked with him?
Well, I thought you listened to our show. Like we know things that Michael Cody is someone who appears on your
YouTube
show.
Friday morning at 9 a.m.
I
had to put in a Wi-Fi password for him this morning.
Well, I mean, come on. You change Wi-Fi on me. Nobody tells me. You know, I identified that Wi-Fi had been changed. I just didn't know the new password or whatever. I do listen to your show whenever I'm on it. But I just haven't happened to have heard Hawkins, the dulcet tones of Andrew Hawkins. I'm sure he's wonderful, good-looking guy. I think what Juju said is accurate, though. Like, why are people asking me who I think is better looking between two men? If that were asked, what do I think? Who's better looker, Doris Burke or?
I'm glad we came back
we were
to
going to do
this.
Doris Day
I'm
because
glad
then it would have been more.
You like your ally?
acceptable.
You like your ally, Juju?
I'm just saying.
Sorry,
Juju makes
guys.
a good point.
I'm glad we returned to this. I'm so thrilled.
Your thoughts on Judy Garland?
I love her. She's great. You kidding me? Those ruby slippers, baby.
Betty Davis.
Okay, great. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Please, just keep naming starlets from the 30s.
I think we found an okay way to objectify women in the modern day.
Doris Day, never my favorite.
Okay, great.
I think I know something that can bring us all together. Greg not knowing Hawkins is really Dan's fault, because if he did a better job of, introducing people and communicating who works here and who doesn't work here, then maybe we would all know who everyone else is.
I think that's valid, and it's also valid for me to reiterate, I have never met Andrew Hawkins, never been in the same room with him.
You thought his name was Walter.
I think we should
That's my affectionate
really
nickname
hear
for him.
Jess out. Everything is Dan's fault.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, you know what? I'd agree with it too. What else do we have in the way of NBA playoff talk? I don't feel like we can get too much of it around here. Juju, what observations do you have from the last couple of days worth mentioning?
Yeah, something else that was Dan's fault. Kyle Kuzma revenge game yesterday after going to 0 the other day. He stepped up for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that Doc Rivers, you know what I mean? He's been doing it for so long. He might not see that Bobby Portis may need to be integrated into that starting lineup, because right now the Indiana Pacers are jumping out so fast that by the time that he even gets in there, it's a lot of cleanup, spot up work. So salute to Kyle Kuzma, but I think the Bucks are doing it a little wrong lineup wise. But welcome back, Dame Lillard, as well.
Wait, though. Juju, you just did something to me. Yesterday, I learned from Jessica that a legacy game can be inconclusive. Today, I'm learning that there was a Kyle Kuzma revenge game that ended in a loss.
Yeah, but it wasn't his fault. He didn't go over. If you watch that game, you would be like, damn, Kyle Kuzma was one of the pieces that actually kept them afloat during
But can it be a revenge game if you lose it? I'm asking the question sincerely at Le Batard Show. I understand you're putting a positive spin on things. You're right. I called him a career loser, and he got revenge on me, but they still lost, and he's a career loser.
No one's gonna remember Game 2, Pacers versus Bucks, but everyone's gonna remember the memes of Kyle Kuzma's offers. So I feel like he can get a little revenge meme wise.
Okay.
You feel me? Also, my bad. Go ahead.
No, please.
No, I was going to switch gears a little bit and congratulate the sixth man of the year. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, would be Peyton Pritchard. You feel me? Salute to my brother Peyton Pritchard, Secret Sauce, sixth man of the year. I salute you, brother.
How
NBA
much
champion.
does Boston love Peyton Pritchard? He's going to go right behind Larry Bird, is he not? I believe Peyton Pritchard is more popular than Tatum.
Yeah, maybe so. They got the Pritch Please posters up right now, selling numbers and doing things. It's all about the secret sauce in Boston. Shiremans of the world, Luke Cornett's of the world.
Not sure what you guys are talking about.
White guys.
Yeah.
Talking about white guys.
One
Boston.
America. Also, happy 48th birthday to You Can't See Me Right Now, or Can You, John Cena. You feel me? Big week for my boy.
Also a white guy from Boston.
Polls. We need some polls updated here. What do we have for the day or the week that we have not gotten to?
Hold on 1 second. First poll from today's show. Is Greg Cody the most fun of the columnists? 78% of the audience says yes, he is.
Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you, audience.
Can you be named Budenholzer and be a good coach? 74% of the audience says no, you cannot.
The name really does work against him, right? If Belichick had been named Budenholzer, he would have won less, correct?
Football's different, though.
Is it?
Yeah, football's different.
You think that Budenholzer can be a winner in football?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I totally disagree with this take. I think it's a strong name, Budenholzer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a success that makes the
The
name.
booed.
Belichick.
The booed.
Booting it.
Yeah, I like that. Booting it.
47% over or under on American households with a dog.
That's crazy to me.
Right. 53% of the audience says over. They knew it.
Guys, does it not seem absurd to you that 1 out of every 2 American households has a dog? Does not seem strange to you?
It does seem strange.
It doesn't to me. If you were combining dogs or cats, like 47%
I'm
with a
not.
dog or
It's
a
just
cat, that I
dogs.
would
I'm
believe.
not doing well. So it is strange to you.
I think it's high. If you'd asked me for an over/under,
That's
on
what I
dogs
was
only,
asking you. Which
I'd have
part
said-
of that were you not
I'd have said
understanding? That's
37%.
okay. So you've changed your mind. We're
Yeah, no, I
changing
haven't.
minds around here.
And the last poll to update my dog Tony is Whittingham great at the soccer stuff while sucking at everything else.
Yes, thank you.
86% of the audience says yes, he is.
We all
Yes, he
agree on
does.
that.
This is the only audience that doesn't respect him at all.
No, they
It's
respect him, but they know he's got
crazy.
deficiencies in other places.
Yeah,
it's
but
okay.
they're just there to just bully him at all stops. Like he is so respected elsewhere.
It's what our audience does best, Mike. You should know this as the leader of the bullies.
Chris Whittingham is a fancy lad.
I got a dog in me.